Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the exact differences between a B head intake manifold and a C head intake manifold. So let's get into today's video. Alright, so exactly how I'm going to be showing you guys the differences. I'm going to show you all the physical appearance differences, the size differences using a caliper. I can show you the exact size difference. I'm going to show you the port design for the intake and also the fuel rail design, throttle body design, everything. Going to give you guys all the exact numbers and why the C head intake manifolds are much better than the B head intake manifolds. So I want to start with the visuals on this B head intake manifold. This is from a 1994 Lincoln Mark 8. Let me get you zoomed in. As you can see, throttle bodies are on the back of the manifold. This is the EGR tube on the back as well, so that's why they don't really use these for the Mustang swaps. But the throttle body, if you guys can see, one of these flaps opens up partially, and then when you go beyond 30%, it opens up the other flap. Let me see if I could get the measurement on this one on a single throttle body. So throttle body on the B heads intake manifold will be 5 inches. Let's measure the one, at least when we get to the C heads I'll show you that one. So 5 inches, and let me get a rough estimate on what this the inside is. It's kind of hard to get to it based on the design, but that is, each single blade is, let me see if you guys can see that. No, 2 inches and 300 thousandths. So that's 2 inches, 300 thousandths. I hope I'm saying that right. No, I'm not really used to using this, but I want to give you guys an understanding of how different these intake manifolds are. Size wise, you can definitely tell that the bottom section of it compared to the C head intake manifold is massively different as well. But the big difference here is the port design from B to C. B heads have 2 ports per cylinder, C heads have 1 big single port per cylinder. So we're going to measure these out. That is 1 inch and 500 thousandths. See, and then that's for the square one. Let me see what the oval one is. So that is 1 inch and 700 thousandths. So the square port is 1 inch 600 thousandths. The circle port is 1 inch 700 thousandths on the intake manifold for the B heads, and these are intake manifold runners that I had to jam open when I was starting to use this intake manifold. Let's turn it around. The TPS is actually on the back of these. That's it here. Idle air controller on the back of it as well. Let's spin this thing around. I can explain some more. This is definitely an inferior design when it comes to fuel rail. It's extremely small when it comes to a rail size. Also, the split port design where it's 2 ports per cylinder is definitely an outdated thing. And I put the 21-pound injectors in it, so that came from the C heads intake manifold, and that should be pretty much it for the B heads. I'm going to get this out of the way and we can get the C head one in place. Height wise, you can definitely see height wise it's much taller. It flows a lot more air. It's in 2 parts just like the B intake manifold. Let's start off with the throttle body like we did before. Get you right in. Throttle body outer diameter is 5 inches. Yeah, 5 inches 400 thousandths. So I think that's 400 thousandths bigger than the C head, I mean the B head manifold. Let me try to get a blade size. Blade size is 2 inches 300 thousandths. I think that's pretty much the same as the other one. This is actually how it sits on the car. Just points just like that throttle body goes towards the driver. I'm going to take off the upper section of it and flip it over. And this is where that massive power difference comes in with the B and C heads port design. As you can see, this is one big port per cylinder, so we're going to measure those out. Measure their width. Let me see if I can get it right to the edge. Alright, so that's 2 inches exactly. 2 inches per port. So massively different design. Let me measure it from this way as well. 2 inches by 2 inches this way, and 1 inch 700 thousandths this way. So massively different design. You can definitely tell why these are superior to the B intake manifolds. Alright, so I put them side by side so you guys can see the actual difference between the C head intake manifold and the B head intake manifold. You can actually see how much smaller the C head the B head intake manifold is compared to the C head. The C head's bottom is massively wider, definitely flows a lot more air. These B heads have a split port design. This is a single port design. This has 2 of those plugs. This has 8 of those plugs. And it's just an all-around better design. Alright, so there you have it, guys. I know this wasn't a very long video, but that is the differences between the C intake manifold and the B head intake manifold. And definitely it's a massive upgrade. It's a much different design. That's why my 4-valve swap was running as rough as it was, because I was using a C head computer on a B head motor, which is never going to run right. So we're going to swap the C heads on it, C intake manifold on it, better fuel rail from the C heads on it as well, and we're going to make this thing a whole lot better. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.